everyone, this is Jo Smart of Fire Angels, excuse me. Here for your reading for January 2021. I'm doing this a little bit early because tonight, the 29th of December 2020, is the last full moon of the year. So I wanted to have a little bit of a conversation about that and what it means. So I'm having to wear my glasses today because thanks to the full moon energy, I had a serious case of overthinking at 4 o'clock this morning and didn't get back to sleep because my brain was going, oh, of all these silly things, silly anxieties popping in my head, which does quite often happen around full moon because it's the universe's way of telling you all the stuff that you're hanging on to that doesn't serve you anymore. So I fell completely victim to that at 4 a.m. this morning and gave up trying to get back to sleep at about 5:30 and came in here and did my ritual. So excuse the bags under the eyes and the fact that I'm definitely having to wear my glasses today to see what I'm doing with the cards. So last full moon of the year, and it has been an incredibly tumultuous year. And what this is a real opportunity for, even if you know you've been sleeping well and you haven't been noticing things, lucky you, is also to make sure you take the opportunity to really kind of reflect and think about all the things you've picked up this year that you need to let go of, things that are no longer serving you. What this year has taught you about your shadow self that you need to release, you need to accept and release. All of the baggage, all of the negativity that you may have picked up, all of the people that you need to forgive, including yourself, all of the patterns you've been trying to break but potentially keep creeping back. All of those things, as the last full moon of this year, is a really good opportunity to once and for all cut the cords, forgive those situations, those people, those thoughts, those anxieties, those worries, and give them back to the universe and release everything to the divine, and then start to really be able to build and trust the process. Because particularly as we've moved into the age of Aquarius, this is a real time for those of us who have answered the call and those of us that are on a journey of enlightenment really have the opportunity to grow and develop. And in order to do that, we need to be as free as possible. We're not going to ever be entirely free, but get as free as possible from all the things that may hold us back in that next part of our journey. Also, as we come up to the new year, again, out with the old and in with the new, it's a really good time to do a cleanse of yourself, a chakra cleanse meditation, but also your surroundings using sage or aura sprays that we talked about a few months ago. Revisit that video if you can't remember. So definitely New Year's Eve or New Year's Day is a really good time to cleanse your surroundings, cleanse yourself of anything that you've picked up that's clinging to your aura, clinging to your space, that's having a negative impact. So it may be a little bit chilly, but get those windows open, get the sage out, you know, really set your intentions that you're creating a sacred space in your home, in your workplace. For a lot of us, that's the same place right now, which again makes it really important that we cleanse that space so that we don't have, you know, contamination from our work in our sanctuaries as well. So, you know, if you do nothing else other than eat some leftovers and put your feet up on New Year's Day, get your sage out. So the reading I'm going to do today is a little bit of a gamble, because the cards I kept thinking about last night were these cards, the Butterfly Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. Now, I normally use these for quite specific questions that people may come with, because they are, you know, they're quite that specific as cards, and they talk about life changes. So when people are coming asking specifically things about career, retirement, having babies, all of that kind of, you know, really specific stuff, then these are quite good cards to call from. So I would never normally use these on a general reading, particularly to an audience where we are all on very different paths and very different journeys with different stuff going on in our lives. But these are the cards that kept popping into my head last night. So we'll go with it. But because these are specific cards, I don't want this to be like, you know, horoscopes you get in these celebrity magazines. You as an enlightened person, you as light workers, need to really think about what these cards, the specific part of these cards, mean for you and where you are on your journey, and what January, the beginning of 2021, is going to mean for you. So it might be an opportunity or an idea for you to pause this video now and start think about some of the big questions that you're asking yourself as you move into next year, or watch the whole video but then spend some time in reflection, you know, making notes. What are the things that pop into your head, a situation that you've got at the moment with each card, and what does that card mean for you? So I'm not going to do big interpretations for these cards because they're going to mean something different to all of you. So I'm going to pull 4. I've set the intention that the angels let us know as light workers what we need to know as we move into a new year, a new period in our lives, and set the intention that your intuition connects with these cards through this platform, so that you can really get your own messages about what these cards mean for you. So thank you, angels, for telling us light workers what we need to know about upcoming changes that 2021 might have for us as we move into this new year. So I'm going to spread these out. I'm going to go with the top one. 2, 3. Let's go 4. Okay. So number 1. Windfall. Hey! Okay, so windfall can mean abundance is coming our way, abundance of cash. Our cash flow might improve. So that's a really positive. So, you know, but there's also kind of it could be a windfall in terms of our growth, and all of a sudden the light bulb comes on and we really kind of figure out why we're here and what we're doing. So again, like I said, I'm not going to go massively into interpretations of these. You need to, the first thing that pops into your head when you see windfall is what you go with, because that's how these cards work. You know, they work with our intuition. But I'm really feeling that, you know, this is a real message, I think, particularly around things like abundance, that tells us that we will always have what we need, and it might come in a massive windfall, or it might just come as a trickle, but we need to trust the process that we always will have what we need. And if one of those things that you're holding on to is fear around your finances, that's something to stick on your forgiveness list and let go of in your full moon ritual that you can do over the next couple of days. Okay, first card. Okay, second card is volunteer. Now, actually, these go quite hand in hand, because the more we give out, the more we get back. So in terms of the law of attraction, the more we do, the more positivity we put out into the universe, the more positivity we come back. So actually a really good way to ensure that we get the windfall that we need and the abundance that we need is to use our time in the service of other people and to do some volunteering. And it doesn't have to be in a formal way. It could be, does your neighbour who potentially is a bit scared to go out at the moment need anything picked up from the shops while you're there? You know, so it's those kinds of things. But obviously there are lots of opportunities to do formal volunteering as well. And like I said, the more that we give, the more that we get back. So that's going to increase the windfall that we potentially are going to get over the next 12 months. Okay. So this card is telling us to take the step now. So January 2021 being a time for action, setting up as, you know, starting off as we mean to go on. And some people might be thinking, because 2020 has been such a stop-start year, and you may not have reached all the goals that you set at the beginning of the year, your resolutions or your aims for the year might have been interrupted. this card, take the next step now, is telling you that actually there's nothing holding you back anymore. And I think we've spoken quite a lot in a lot of these monthly readings about us having just to rethink and be a bit more creative about how we meet those goals. Well, this is telling us we've just got to go for it. We've just got to take that leap of faith, jump off that cliff and fly, like the butterfly. And then the last card is Heavenly Signs. And that is, you know, making me get a bit of a warm fuzzy feeling inside actually, because, and this is for the whole year, is, you know, we are not alone. Heaven, our past loved ones, our guides, our ancestors, our angels obviously are around us and will keep giving us the signs that we need to continue to do what we need to do. And I think lots of you probably will have, and I certainly have, kind of felt a real increase in that area, in that kind of activity in terms of spotting things. And actually one of the things I was thinking about last night when these cards kept popping into my head to use today, was that actually, you know, a lot of people noticed, and I noticed, particularly in the spring, summer and into early autumn, there was loads of butterflies, so many more. And people who aren't necessarily even on a spiritual journey kept saying, you know, God, have you seen how many butterflies there are around? So this is saying that actually those butterflies that came in that period of when we were like initially in lockdown and things like that, they were heavenly signs. They were signs of, you know, we are okay, we are being watched. There is still beauty around us wherever we look, and there is also opportunities for transformation. So notice those signs. The butterflies are definitely a sign when they start to come back in spring, but right now as we kind of head towards the deeper part of winter, there are still going to be an abundance of signs for you to show you that you're on the right path, to help you make decisions, and to show you that you're not on your own. So they're the cards for January, but setting the scene for the rest of the year. So just again, because like I said, what I want you to do is really reflect on what these mean for you and your situation in life right now. We've got Windfall, we've got Volunteer, we've got Take the Next Step Now, and we've got Heavenly Signs. So I know I've given you a little bit of homework, sorry about that. But I hope that they resonate with you, and I hope, you know, like I say, just listen to the video back, pause it at the different cards. What is the first thing that pops into your head that card means for you? Because that's your angels, your intuition telling you what you need to know from that reading. So I wish you all a lovely, happy, peaceful, quiet new year this year, and I really look forward to connecting with you again in January. Love and light.